One thing I really like about river cruising as opposed to ocean cruising is the ease of the disembarkation process. Hi, I'm Cassandra from C&K Getaways. I'm a travel agent that specializes in planning vacations for my clients to destinations around the world, and that includes by land, by sea, and in this case, by river. So if you're interested in trying a river cruise for yourself, go ahead and give my page a follow because I'm going to be sharing a lot more videos like this. That's going to be things I like, things I don't like. I'm not going to give you any BS. I will tell you exactly how I feel about things. So yeah, make sure you follow me because you're not going to want to miss those if this is something that you're considering. If you've been on an ocean cruise before, you probably recall the disembarkation process. It can be long, it can be frustrating. A lot of times you want to have your luggage set out the night before if you want them to take it down for you, unless you're going to be carrying it off yourself. A lot of times you don't arrive into the port until that morning, and so it can take a while to get everything situated before passengers can even start getting off the ship. So like my rule of thumb for most places is, and most cruise lines for my clients, is don't book any flights before noon. You'll probably be all right in some cases, but don't book any flights before noon because it does take a while to get off the ship. It takes a while to get to the airport, all that. You will find that river cruising is so much less chaotic. So, for example, a lot of times your itinerary has you overnighting at the port where you're disembarking the night before. So, if that is the case, you can book earlier flights and you can leave the ship anytime you need to. As an example, our river cruise just ended and we had an overnight in Bischofszell, which is where our disembarkation was. So we ended up having a 9:10 a.m. flight in Munich airport, which is about 2 hours from Bischofszell. So Waterways was very, very gracious, and there was about 10 of us, I think, on the same flight, and we had transportation that was arranged for us. So we left the ship at 3:45 a.m. Was it awful getting up that early? Absolutely. But the nice thing was that we didn't have to have our luggage outside of our room until 3 a.m. that day. So we didn't have to have it out the night before. We could still have all of our stuff with us until the morning that we left. And they provided a nice breakfast for us, which was a really nice touch because it was so early. And so we appreciated that. Now, just like with most cruise lines, this transportation to the airport did not come free. So we did have to pay for that, but and I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it was really nice to have the convenience of riding with other guests from the ship, and it was a really nice bus and really easy ride, even though it was so early. So that was very nice. You can actually arrange that ahead of time, or you can do that while you're on board. Your cruise manager will help you set that up. Now, if you don't want to take the shuttle, or maybe you're not going to the airport, maybe you're going to the train station, you're going somewhere else after this on your own, you can either arrange that on your own, or your cruise manager actually will help you set all of that up. So our cruise manager on this last cruise set up taxis for people from, for all hours of the day to depart. So it was really nice. It's very hands-on. Everybody knows everybody by the end of the trip, and the cruise manager is just so personable. It's just so different from ocean cruising. And when you actually disembark, you just drop your keys in the little box, especially if it's early. If nobody's at the reception desk, you just drop your keys in a little box. It's not a whole big security process like an ocean cruise. You don't have to go through a bunch of lines. It's really nice. Just drop them in the box and leave, just like at a hotel. So just like ocean cruising, you do have to get off the ship eventually. So it just depends on your itinerary and all of that good stuff, what time you actually have to be off. But if your flight's not till later and you're not in any rush, you can have a really leisurely morning, having a nice breakfast and saying goodbye to all the people that you met, and you're just, the not feeling rushed, just such a nice way to start the day. Our cruise had less than 200 guests on board, and so, for the whole entire week, we never felt rushed at all. And that was a really nice change of pace. Now, don't get me wrong, I love cruising on the ocean. I love the major cruise lines. I love that environment also. Two things can be true. I can love both things at once, and so can you. or maybe you can't. I don't know. That's why these videos are important. They're very different experiences, so I think that that's why like videos like this are pretty important, because seeing the comparisons and the contrast between the two from somebody that enjoys both can be a big help, especially if you're deciding to do your first one. If you have any questions about river cruising at all, or any comments that you would like to make based on your own personal experiences, then go ahead and let me know. I will do my best to answer every single question and respond to every comment. And even if you don't have anything to say, make sure that you give me a follow, because some of my other videos maybe will spark some questions or give you answers you didn't even know you had questions for.